Now, it's safe to say that this update honestly cooked. If you watched my last video, I honestly stated, and I have been stating for a little while now, that the developers of this game actually answer, or should I say respond to the public, to the community very quickly and very frequently. All the past updates, the updates have actually catered towards the player base. The developers made a huge change and it was a questionable change and had some mistakes in it. The community got angry, the community got frustrated, the developers fixed it. The next update, there was problems, the community wasn't really liking it too much, the developers addressed and fixed it. And now we have this update where the developers have been listening to the outrage and the outcries to a lot of the players and the player base, the community, the content creators, etc. And they fixed it. Strikers have been buffed to the point where they might be one of the best in the game now in terms of damage output. Strikers are very powerful now. The armor got increased overall, and the damage output and healing also got increased. They are definitely up there in terms of power right now. So if you want to make a striker build, or you have a striker build, now's your time to shine, go crazy. Also, on top of that, the developers actually made solo progressing somewhat easier by lowering the health in problematic mobs, lowering the damage in beastmen, and lowered posture damage on problematic mobs. Problematic mobs can mean things like beastmen, the big crab, adult spider, and things of that nature. Those mobs are very easy. As well as that, the most annoying mob in the game, the flying bird thing, also got nerfed. That happened a couple of days ago. This didn't happen this update, but it got nerfed. It's way easier to kill now. So the developers are being attentive and listening to the community. So for those of you guys who just keep complaining, the developers are pandering to you guys. Again, shout out to the developers. However, I want the developers to still be realistic to a certain degree, because if you listen to your community too much when they complain, you get deep woken. And now that deep woken is catered to what the audience and the community and the player base have been complaining about for years, deep woken's in the gutter. In my opinion, deep woken is pretty disgusting to play right now. Pretty boring, pretty lackluster. Everybody and their mothers have enchants, because enchants literally come to you by the dozen, dime a dozen. It's free reign for everyone. Let's not make this a deep woken. Now I understand they did the times. Right now it's basically times 8. If you're not playing the game this weekend, you might be screwed. Right now it's basically a times 8 weekend. You need to be playing Rune Slayer right now. If you're not playing Rune Slayer right now, I don't know what to tell you. Literally, honestly, in my opinion, drop everything you're doing and hop on Rune Slayer. Now is the time to farm. Legendary drops, rare items have an increased drop chance. That affects everything from gold to legendary items to epic items. Now's the time to be grinding. You should be grinding. Now, times 8 of a 0% is still 0% essentially, but still, now is definitely the time to be grinding. So that is happening this weekend. Again, I do think you should be grinding. You should be in the game. Now, one thing I do want the developers to do is not make this a recent thing. If you want to do a times 2 drop rate weekend, probably once or twice a month max. Again, shout out to, I forgot his YouTube channel, but the guy that did 1,000 boss rates for the Nightwing axe. He was one of the big people complaining about the drop rates. I mean, everyone's been complaining about drop rates, but he was making videos complaining about drop rates consistently, that he farmed the stupid boss for the axe over 1,000 times. He finally got the axe. He made a recent video and he got one of the new items in the games, or the new legendary drops in the games, which really powerful, might be the best sword in the game right now. And he was complaining, saying it's a bit too easy. If the guy that was complaining about drop rates is complaining about the update that's making the drop rates better, there's definitely an issue there. There's an issue there. There's no middle ground. It's too little or too much. But regardless, developers, don't be discouraged by that sort of outrage, because it's never going to be enough. It's never going to be enough. And I do agree with him where I say it is a little bit too accessible. Even though with my fairy buff, for grinding for 18 hours. I still haven't got a single Ragnarok. I do think things should stay on the rarer side of things. If there was a bar and there was rare, the middle ground and easily accessible, I wouldn't really want the middle ground. I would want in between rare and middle ground. I wouldn't want higher. So again, shout out to the developers. This update is pretty big. This is the time. Oh, also this update is crucial. If you have a Warlock build, Warlock builds are going to be super powerful for farming, so now's the time to go crazy on the Warlocks. There's also 3 legendary weapons. There is a staff that is pretty OP. I'll put screenshots on the screen of the weapon, and if I can find videos of people using it, I'll put it there. So there's a staff that's pretty powerful. There's also a and the staff actually drops from imps and fiends. There is a bow that's pretty powerful as well. That bow drops from the flying birds inside the swamp, the forest. As well as that, there is a sword that drops from the goblins inside the goblin cave. Also might be one of the strongest weapons in the game right now. And also they buffed the sand shooter. The crit's actually really strong right now, and things of that nature. So again, the developers are going crazy with just catering to everybody, and I do think you guys need to take advantage of this weekend. Honestly, I'm dropping everything I was doing. I did finish the Thief solo progression, and I was meant to upload that this weekend. I was meant to upload that today. That is not happening. Anything that's taken time away from grinding Rune Slayer, I know it sounds crazy, but anything that's taking time away from grinding Rune Slayer, whether it's gym, IRL, other videos, I am not doing it. We are hard farming Rune Slayer. I know it sounds crazy to a lot of you guys, but you're not gonna get another opportunity like this to grind. So I do think everybody should make and take full advantage of it. If you have other things going on this weekend, you are screwed. And honestly, to save everything you have to do for next week. That's my honest and humble opinion, because this won't last forever, and the developers probably will end up patching, nerfing, and debuffing some things relatively soon once they see how OP it is. So get to grinding. And the last bit of news here is obviously the faction stuff. I heard there is a lot of new good faction things. They added shields, capes, bags, rune curvatures or carvers, rune stuff to the faction stuff. And rune carvers lets you engrave one socket on gear. Wait, what? You can engrave a socket into a gear? Okay, so you can make like essentially you can make like a 3 rune slot weapon into a 4 slot rune weapon. That is pretty OP. I'm not gonna lie, that's actually a really good. I didn't actually read that properly up until now, so that's actually really good. That's really OP. That's really good. That's really good. I'm not gonna lie, that is actually really good. So yeah, now doing the faction wars, the killing other faction players, it's pretty important now. I definitely think you should get around to doing the faction stuff now. Yeah, no, that's pretty crazy. That's actually really good. So that's honestly it for the update. I'm gonna just wrap this video up. Minimal editing, there's some music in the background. It's time to grind. I'm not gonna lie, let's drop this video. This video's done. I love and appreciate you guys if you made it to the end. It's time to grind. I'm gonna boot up a stream in this Rune Slayer time.